Nice to meet
And it's
on this
nice to meet
call,
you too,
just want to get to know you a little bit, see if we could essentially help you out here. If I
for
feel like I
sure.
can, I'll break down what we do, how we do it, how you can get started with today.
Okay.
With that being said, why don't you kick it off? Just a bit of a background on yourself, what you're looking to do with the team, and we'll take it from there.
All right. So I'm over here at Brownfield, Texas, very close to Lubbock, Texas. I don't know if you know anything of Lubbock.
No, never heard of
Lubbock.
it.
Okay. So I'm more of the west side, Texas, closer. And I currently work at a cotton company Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday mornings. And so I've been there for 8 years and had my own personal business in between there for a year. And it just wasn't the right business for me. So I gave it all up, went back to work for that company. And as of right now, I'm just working there, and I've been really looking, what can I do to make some extra cash flow so I can get full time into it and actually quit my job and have more freedom is whenever I want to go and spend time with my daughter, go and eat breakfast, and my wife. Um, I got
Oh,
we're married, and my wife's, and now we have a daughter that's 2 years old. So it's a blessing.
yeah,
So that's a little bit who we are and what I do. And so I've been into this real estate searching and just listening from others and a lot. And that's actually what came up to me to be the best for me, because as we see, real estate is just going up.
yeah,
It's not coming down. From here to 10 years, we won't see a decrease of a big percentage. It's just going up. And that's what I see myself more doing. What I have the interest in is the Airbnb arbitrage. And as we move on, we get cash flow, and then actually moving on to buying properties
yes,
and
sir.
then get them to luxurious properties, rent them out, short-term rental, and just keep moving on, grow the business. And once I'm enough into it, I can actually help others like you guys are going to help me. So
Yeah,
that's my goal, my roadmap right now, where what I'm chasing to. And I could do a lot on my own, but at the same time, to get a great kickoff start, get it going, get it moving, and start getting some cash flow in, I need someone where they've done it, they've had experience, they've gone through it. And for me, like a lot of people say, why would I start now and go through all the trouble that everyone has to go through versus you guys been through it, and y'all just tell me, hey, do this, do this. That's going to save you from this trouble. And
yep,
it's a lot easier. Now, does mentorship cost? Yes, of course. But is it going to benefit me in the long run? Yes, because I can get off a lot quicker start, right way, and get it going. So that's where I look at it a little bit into. So where I'm looking into some help with an LLC. I know it's not hard, but at the same time, uh, with the real estate, where to do it, how to do it right, and then find the properties, search for the right locations that it's going to give me profitability, like the most out of everything, right? We always want the most. Why is it like that? We always want the most, and when it comes to buy, we always want the cheapest, but the best.
yeah. That's
so,
funny.
so that being said, is from finding the properties, setting them up right. I've listened to a lot of Airbnb hosts that say number one with the property is if you have it set up right and have quality houses and
Hmm.
quality everything inside, from furnishing it and quality photos and everything, and it's actually the way it is as your picture are showing, that's where you're going to get all the bookings.
Yep.
And so from there, from that to host, from managing all the guests, communication, everything that comes with it, right? That's where I just need some help with getting it started. So that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm just searching. I know I've been following some guys on Instagram and just looking through their contact and everything. And there's a lot of guys they want to partner up with me, but I can't partner with everyone.
Hmm.
So because I'm choosing more of the local here, I'm 5 hours from Dallas. So Dallas is straight east from me. And so is Texas is big. It's growing.
Yep.
It's grown a lot. So I don't want to go out of state or have a mentor, which probably wouldn't make any difference. I just don't have any experience of it. Having them from North Carolina and just not be able to, if needed, to be in person doing something, getting the work done, going out of state first, right? I want to do it in state first, kicking it off and grow the business. And also Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, all of them, I think they're growing cities in the Texas. And if that's right, that's where I'm looking into. Like some of these areas, it don't really matter where. I just want somewhere a great start, great kickoff, and whereas growing cities where there's cash flow money,
Yeah,
people.
I got you. I got you. Well, that's something we can definitely help with, and especially with being in Dallas, Texas, you're able to
Okay,
just go out and work directly with him as well. So he's local. Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
definitely local. How long have you been trying to get into Airbnb arbitrage for, if you don't mind me asking?
So it's been some time, some months, where I haven't actually wanted like to start it on my own,
Hmm.
because of the same reason that I would go through all the hard times finding everything out which is best and what, right? So,
Yeah,
but it's been some time where I've been searching, looking at other people, what they've done. I've learned a lot, but at the same time, I'm not going to learn exactly what I need to do until I'm actually doing it.
yeah.
So that's one of the parts.
Okay. And you also mentioned that you want to get this to a point where you could sort of transition out of your job and spend more time with your wife, more time with your daughter. How much money do we need to help you make, brother, on a monthly basis in order to do so?
So my monthly income as of right now is from between $5,000 to $6,000 a month.
Hmm.
Well, that's 4 weeks. Some months are a little a few days more, right? And
Hmm.
so that's what I make on a 4 week base. And that is including all my mortgage, my home payment, my car payment, and bills, groceries, and all expenses that cover that, right? So that's about where it's costing me just to live on, right? Now, at the same point, I would say I want to set a goal where I want to have enough cash flow before I would quit my job,
100.
because more cash flow than I actually make. That as is my goal, because of should there be a month or two, a little slow time with Airbnb, then I'm going to run short, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
So with having an extra job just on top is just saving more, and just as soon as I launch another 20K, 30K, and just get another property, and the more properties I have, the more cash flow it's going to make. So
100%. Even myself, I would tell you definitely don't leave your job until you're making a certain amount of money where you feel comfortable, in order to actually leave. Because keep in mind,
excuse me.
bless you have a family, right? When it comes
Yes,
to working with us, the mentorship is for a year, and the year doesn't physically start until we get you the business funding for the furnishing, which is very interesting as well. And we do the first property for you, which is a big kicker. So you don't have to worry about making a mistake. However, in my personal recommendation, especially because you want to scale this to a point where you can do this full time, I would get walked through that process, the first one. That way you can only accelerate getting your second, third, fourth, and fifth.
right.
What we're able to promise you is anywhere in between $2,500 to $4,000 a month in net profit, which is after all expenses per Airbnb.
Gotcha.
That that being said, it depends on your schedule. Even though we work on your timing, our students see an average anywhere in between 5 to 8 of them by the end of the year. So if you were to do some
Okay.
yeah, if you were to do some basic math, even if we were to drop it down to 2,000 times five, it's $10,000 a month. It's a decent.
$2,000 a month. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
I would want to get enough where it would keep me focused enough where I couldn't do both anymore.
yeah.
Just get rid of one and just focus, go full in, like throttle down and keep going.
Well, you know what's really interesting about this business? There's a couple ways to do it, and we'll get into it when it comes down to the property management. But who you'd be working with, he has
Right.
19 Airbnb and spends roughly around 3 hours a day keeping up with his cleaners and handyman, which allows him to have free time in order to mentor you guys. But if we were to translate it into your situation, it would be more free time to do the things that you want with your family and your daughter, which is obviously most important. I'm a married man too. I'm about to have a kid in a couple weeks, so I completely understand
Oh
where you're
wow. Well,
coming.
congratulations. That's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a huge blessing. I'm definitely very excited. With your job at the cotton farm, if you don't mind me asking, what I know that it's Monday to Friday and sometimes Saturday mornings, but what's the schedule actually like? Like, when did you think that? When do you feel like you're going to find the time to work with us? Was it going to be after work?
So and that's to answer that question right is I would need to ask you a question also. Um,
Sure.
so what would it take for me to get my first one? Um, do I need to be there? Well, I think you actually said that already. You would do the first property, everything for us, right? Now, at the same point, when you do it for me, is there an option where I can also be in there, like actually physically be in there, or is it do y'all have a team that does it and they take care of it? Just for me, when I'm saying that is when I would go to my second, third, uh, that I already know, right? If I'm doing it myself, so I know y'all are going to be there for me, right? But at the same time, um, having a great cash flowing business is not going to come by itself. I'm going
No.
to put work into it and I'm going to put everything I can, right? So at the same time, would that be like if we're talking about um, next week, we found our property. So we're going to contract it, call them, get all the contracts signed, leased, and then furnish it, get all that done, make the property ready, and then final is book it on Airbnb, right? So
Yeah.
once it's booked from Airbnb, it would probably be a little less physical work on it as a then than before, like all the furnishing, right? Is that something where I need to be with? Is that something I can be with? Or how does that go?
It's a great question. Shows me you're actually serious about this. So, like I was saying earlier, even though we do the first one for you, we can walk you through that entire process and you can be completely present. Again, it's in Dallas, Texas, and you're in Texas as well. So you guys can work closely in person if
Yeah,
necessary, and obviously physically be there when it comes down to the furnishing part, which is
right.
very interesting. Yeah. Or you can be completely hands off. But in my opinion, I would say get walk through the process, even though we walk you through as many Airbnbs as you can lock in throughout the year, just so that you could actually scale a portfolio, make that cash flow, spend time with your family, and then also
Yes.
lock in more properties as well that you physically purchase. Yep.
Right.
Have you told your wife that you're going to be making a decision today and that you want to do this?
What we actually said is I needed some questions answered before before I make a solid decision, right? And like I said again, there's a lot of people that want to partner with me, and I'm choosing the one to be local.
Mhm.
I call Dallas more local for me.
Yeah. So
I know
us.
I know it's a 5 hour drive, but it's still local for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I want to get this as soon as possible. I was just at the bank earlier today. I can get a loan within 45 days. My loan officer, she was She was going to be on vacation all the way through next week, at the end of the week. And then the following week, I could get started on that loan, and it would be about 30 days. I had all my funding. So what my plan was, just if as soon as I get that funding, we just need to go ahead and get started, not waste any more time, right? So to your other question that you had is how much time I could spend into it to go. It's I'm my boss is always flexible with me. I
Good.
can take off a day or two, as long as I wouldn't take off 2 or 3 days every week, right? It'd probably depend a little bit on the first property. If I wanted to be there present every time, it'd probably be a little bit more. And it's just he understands, and I just want to do as much as possible for myself, so that I actually learn, not just having a key turn and I'm actually not learning it to do it physically, right? So.
When you say that you're going to be working with people local, is there anyone else in Texas that you've been talking to?
There's another one in Dallas that wanted to partner up with me, but I haven't gave him the go yet that I will. Right? He's also in Dallas, and so I'm just it's a hard decision for me, but at the same time is with the people that I feel the best comfortable with. That's just who I'm going to go with. Everybody understands that I can't work with everyone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So.
I got you.
And,
And
and you were telling me, I'm
go ahead.
sorry,
No, no, go ahead. You were saying
Fred, he had about 90 properties that he was renting out.
he has 19 Airbnbs that he's renting out
Oh,
right now.
19 Airbnbs.
Yeah,
Okay.
and generates him roughly around 70 grand a month.
Oh, wow. Wow. See,
Yeah,
that's good right there. And are all those arbitrage, or are they some of his own?
all arbitrage.
Okay, okay.
All
See, that's
arbitrage.
where I would more want to go, is get up to a great number where I could have some great cash flow in, and then from there just hopping over to actually buying some of the properties.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people use Airbnb arbitrage as a stepping stone
Yeah.
to actually purchase real estate. So it's right in alignment. That's for
Yes.
sure. Um,
Gotcha.
Also, to bring up funding as well, we do have a business funding department. That being said, we help you with corporate structures, policies, and all that kind of stuff, and then also get you the cash in order to furnish the properties. So it seems to me like you're going to have more cash than usual. Um, you know what? I really like your charisma. You seem like a very great guy that wants to do this for the right reasons. I'm going to
Yes.
break down exactly how we do this, how it works, and then
Okay.
how we could potentially get started as well. So the mentorship is a year. The year starts when you get the funding, so you could actually furnish the properties. And obviously, we help you with corporate structures. That's all included in the mentorship. It's typically 15,000 to work with us, but we're doing a promotion for 10 grand. And yes, that does also come with the done for you property that I obviously recommend you get walked through, so it's much easier and accelerates the process to get your second, third, fourth, and fifth, and so on and so forth.
Right. So
Sure.
after that 1 year, and I'm moving on and moving on. So it does Fred still allow us to use his contracts, like the lease agreements and his AI screening and all that? Is that all included, or is it just throughout the 1 year?
100%, because the second that you have the lease agreement, you have the lease agreement for life. You're able to use it for however long you want.
So it's the same thing. You just make copies over and over.
Yeah, and exactly. And the mentorship is for a year, but you have to keep in mind that keeps in touch with everybody that he mentors. Like even after the year, you're still going to have communication with them,
Of course.
right? Like even if you look at the very bottom, it says complete lifetime access at number 9.
Oh, see, yes, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does everything here make sense?
Yes, yes.
Any other questions for me before we get started?
I do have another question. So, on like the rental properties,
Mhm.
the sign-on fee is 10,000, and so as we go on with all the properties,
Yeah.
is there a percentage that would take, or is that 100% everything to me? Cost is to me, profit is to me, or is there a percentage that would still go to him?
That's a great question. Everything is completely yours. There is no profit split at all.
Oh,
Zero.
okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, that was one of my questions. Gotcha. I think that's all I had for now.
Sure. Are you ready to get started?
To what would it take to get started as of right now? Would it be the 10,000 funding fund and then get started, or how does it work?
Yeah, so we would take care of the investment and then we would set up your onboarding call with Reed, get you the business funding. And then once you receive the business funding, that's when you start the mentorship with them because you have the physical cash to furnish the properties and purchase everything that's necessary in order for you to actually put it on Airbnb.
Okay, okay. So let me think again if I heard you right. The 10,000 funding right here, is
Yeah,
that paid up front before we get started? Is that right?
correct. This is the cost for our mentorship. It's typically 15,000. If you decide
Yes.
to take action today, it's 5 grand off.
Okay. Okay. And just like I said earlier to you, I'm getting funding
Mhm.
here in about 30 days. Now, I don't have the funding right now to get started.
Gotcha.
Everything seems is great. I love it. I want to get started right here, but I just don't have it. So that's why I'm saying is in 30 days, I'll have about 50, 60K
Mm.
of funding. And with that, I'm just remembering one more question. What is an average of funding, well, a property cost from A to it being listed?
Roughly around 10,000.
Around 10,000. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Aside from not having the 10,000, is this something that you want to do with us? Like 100%, you've made your decision. It's just based on the money.
Yes, yes, that is one thing I'm not trying. I don't want to waste too much time
Hmm.
just by waiting, right? The only thing that's holding me up is the money right now to get started. Is I want to start this because I've seen people putting in the work, like I
Yeah.
mean work, so they can have success like this, have great in results, right, and cash flow. But at the same time, is I don't have the funding right now. I would need to wait until the 30 days are over, then I have the funding.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Um, okay, because there are potential ways where we can get this, started sooner than later. If I can help you out with the initial investment to get the ball rolling a bit quicker here, would that help out?
That would yes, that would help, but at the same time is I don't have the other 10K to start getting our first property.
Yeah, that's fine because we would have to we also get you more business funding as well on our side. The thing is,
Okay.
yeah, and I don't want you paying an extra $5,000 for not taking action because it's $5,000 that can go towards something else. Um,
Right.
that being said, would it help if we could help you out here, get the ball rolling, lock this in, and set up the onboarding with and get the process started?
With without the 10,000 of mentorship now.
Yeah, like we would put down a deposit to lock in the spot. And then when you get the funding, we can take care of the remainder. Would that be fair?
I think that would be fair. Yes.
Okay. Um, well, what would you be able to work with? Eyes closed without hurting the pockets to get started, and we'll see if we can work it out.
I could do, as of right now, I'm very low in funding, but I could do at least 1,000.
Okay. And then you would be able to clear the remaining when you get the funding?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And okay. And if we could do this, pardon, were you going to say something?
Sorry. Do have one more question. I
Shoot.
hopefully didn't slip away now. Mm. Okay, now I know. I'm refreshing my mind.
Nice.
So on the properties to find, uh,
Mhm.
how would you guys help me in finding a property that is profitable in locations? Would y'all actually search for a property and see where the best results is, or would that have to be me finding the property and then y'all take it from there?
Well, we do the first one for you, right? So we'll walk you through the process of how it's actually done. So we'll have guys calling for you, cold calling the list for you, finding people who are open to the sublease, and then through our deal analyzer, running the numbers to make sure that you're going to be making the most money for the Airbnb itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so that would be in any location, Dallas, any of those surrounding areas.
exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
You ready to get started?
Uh, I think so. Yes.
Do you have any questions for me before we get started, or are you good to
As
go?
of right now, let me see. This one, the LLC and all that is what's an rough estimate cost on that to set up an LLC?
It's included in the mentorship. Um,
Okay, it's
yeah,
included.
it's included
Oh,
in the mentorship. Yeah.
okay, gotcha. Okay, well, that's another help right there. Um, And also, just I just had another thought here now.
Sure.
So the what as of right now, what my goal is, my plan, I can get the funding and also off the business funding also, right?
Yeah.
Would help me out. That's a lot of funding. But as of right now, with all that, getting everything started and keep going and moving on, right? My goal is still to sell my property where I'm living at right now.
Okay.
The reason being is it's pretty large for me. I don't need this necessary right now for my income and from where I'm at right now. And that's where I have another 200K of equity in.
Gotcha.
So after we had got started and everything, the day I'm able to sell this place, I have a lot more funding then. So that would help just getting off more properties. And another question I had is with the first property being done, it's good to go. How soon could we find our second one? Is that as soon as like we find another property, or is there like a time gap between?
There is no time gap. If you want to do it simultaneously and hit the ground running and get as many as you can because you have so much funding, we're not going to stop you at
Right.
all. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't stop our students. So if you're the second that we lock in the first one, you could already be locking in your second, third, and fourth at the same time that you're doing the first one. We will not stop you. The whole
Got,
point of this mentorship is to help you get as many as you can in this year period, and then obviously still touch base and work with you.
gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. I think that sounds good as of right now.
Okay. Um, so next steps, we would take care of the 1,000, and then I would send you over calendar link to book your onboarding call. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okie dokie. So I'm just gonna share my screen with you with our
Okay.
terminal, just so you see everything that I'm doing. And congratulations and
All
welcome. How do you feel?
Thank you. I mean, it's I'm excited to get my first step to get going.
You should be. You should feel
Yes,
excited.
I am. I am very excited because I can see where this is going, and in the long run, to be successful, 10 years from now, I have to almost start 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's better late than never, that's for sure. I'm gonna
yes.
send you over our mentorship agreement just to give you a heads up through email,
Okay.
um, Jacob. Now, when it comes to the remaining balance, are you 100% positive that you would receive the funds in 30 days, or is that sort of just like a guesstimate?
So, yes, I'll get the funds